As the world leader in soft tissue simulation, Simulab is pleased to offer a central venous access trainer that combines realism, durability, and affordability for maximum value. The Central LineMan system. Central LineMan is the most widely used ultrasound-compatible vascular access trainer in the world and is the only central line trainer that is clinically validated to reduce central line-associated bloodstream infections. The Central LineMan system allows the user to practice central line catheterizations in 3 access sites: internal jugular, supraclavicular, and subclavian. Central LineMan is the industry's most affordable solution, both to purchase and to operate. The system can be purchased with or without the articulating head, and Simulab offers training packages for additional flexibility and savings. The system is also anatomically correct, with landmarks that are both externally palpable and visible when viewed under ultrasound. Prior to setting up the Central LineMan system, make sure you have all of the system components, including the body form, a replaceable tissue, the arterial pulse bulb, the venous pressure regulator, and some paper towels. If you use the system with the articulating head, you will also want to make sure you have the head, tray, and thumb screw. To attach the articulating head, the metal plate that is attached needs to be inserted into the top of the tray. The post should be inserted all the way into the tray. Next, use the knob to attach the head, making sure the plate is square to the tray. Place the body form on the tray. The remainder of the video will include the articulating head, but setup is the same for systems used without the head. Before inserting the tissue, you will want to make sure all of the air has risen to the top of the vessels. To do this, hold the tissue so that the clavicle side is perpendicular to the table and tap the tissue. This will allow air to escape the subclavian vein. Then turn the tissue and hold the vessels up. This will allow any trapped air to rise to the top for removal. Fluid can be added to the tissue before or after it's inserted into the body form. Whether there is a small amount of air in the vessel or it's completely empty of fluid, it can be easily refilled using the included funnel. To refill the arterial line, attach the funnel to the vessel. Add red fluid and pinch the vessel to allow the air to be replaced with fluid. When the artery does not accept any more fluid, detach the funnel and empty the excess back into the bottle. The vein can be filled just like the artery. Start by attaching the funnel to the vessel. Add blue fluid and pinch the vessel to allow the air to be replaced with fluid. When the vein does not accept any more fluid, detach the funnel. For both the vein and artery, the excess fluid can be emptied back into the bottle by attaching the funnel to the fill line, and the fluid will empty into the bottle. Attach the pressure regulator and pull back on the plunger to remove the air bubbles that get trapped in the connector. They will enter the syringe and can then be replaced by fluid by pressing lightly on the plunger. If you overpressurize the vein, fluid will leak out of the needle sticks in the tissue. If the fluid level is low in the syringe, attach the fill line to it and withdraw fluid from the blue bottle. When filled, slowly pull it out of the blue fluid bottle. Remove any air from the syringe, and then remove the fill line over a paper towel. Next, make sure the pulse bulb is full. To do this, press all the way down on the bulb. If you do not see any air entering the vessel, the bulb is properly filled. If you do, you will need to add fluid to the bulb. To add fluid to the bulb, start by attaching the fill line. Add red fluid to the line and squeeze the bulb, and the air will be replaced by fluid. Do this until the bulb does not take any additional fluid and all bubbles are released. Remove the fill line over a paper towel and empty any excess fluid back into the bottle. Reattach the pulse bulb. The system is now ready. Remember, students should re-inject fluid back into the vessels during use. Neglecting to do this may result in air in the vessels. Please note that due to the properties of the replaceable tissue, contact with printed ink or other colors will result in permanent transfer. Here is an overview of what to expect during training with the Centra LineMan system. Please note this is for product demonstration only, and in no way represents medical training or curriculum. The prominent landmarks are located on the patient's right and include the clavicle, the sternal notch, the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and the trachea. Centra LineMan includes a bulb to create an arterial pulse and a syringe to adjust the fluid level in the vein. Its replaceable tissues come pre-filled with 2 colors of simulated blood. The tubes extending from the tissues create large reservoirs of fluid, which enable the user to visualize the guide wire in the vein and facilitate easy refilling. The procedure can be performed blind using landmarks. You will be able to feel the pulse, the clavicle, and the apex of the triangle formed by the 2 heads of the sternocleidomastoid. You will see a blue flashback of fluid if you correctly hit the vein, and red if you hit the artery. The trainer is also compatible with all widely used ultrasound machines. As in any procedure using ultrasound, you may need to turn up the gain and adjust the settings for the desired image. Under ultrasound, you will be able to see the vein, the artery, sternocleidomastoid muscle, including both the medial and lateral heads, the junction of the internal jugular and the supraclavicular veins, and the clavicle. By squeezing the arterial pulse bulb, you can create a pulse to identify the artery. If you squeeze and hold the bulb, it will keep the artery round as you compress the vein. By using the system with the articulating head, either turn to the side or position straight up as desired. You not only increase the difficulty of performing the procedure, but you also add realism to each procedure. Replacing a tissue. To replace a used tissue, remove the bulb and syringe over a paper towel. A small amount of fluid will leak upon separation. Then pull the tissue out of the body form to be discarded. Remove the used tissue and place it into a Ziploc bag for disposal. The bag will contain any leakage that may occur. Take the new tissue and, like during setup, make sure there is no air in the vessels. When inserting, simply feed the vessels through the opening in the lower part of the body form. Pull gently on the vessels to ensure there are no kinks, and make sure the notch on the side of the tissue is tucked in. Next, attach the pressure regulator and pull back on the plunger. Air bubbles may enter the syringe and can then be replaced by fluid by pressing lightly on the plunger. Now attach the pulse bulb and press all the way down on the bulb. If you do not see any air entering the vessel, the bulb is properly filled and the system is ready for use. Adjusting the tension on the articulating head. If the articulating head's left to right movement becomes loose or does not provide the desired amount of tension, it can be adjusted. To adjust the side-to-side tension, you will need a 3/8 inch open end or box wrench and a 1/8 inch Allen wrench. With the body form removed, turn the head to one side. There are 2 metal plates that will stop the head from over-rotating. Place a 3/8 inch open end or box wrench on the nut at the top of the mechanism, and a 1/8 inch Allen wrench into the screw at the bottom. Turn the wrench about 1/4 of a turn and check the tension. Keep tightening to achieve the desired tension. If the articulating head's forward to back movement becomes loose or does not provide the desired amount of tension, it can also be adjusted. To adjust the side-to-side tension, you will need a 3/32 inch Allen wrench. Place a 3/32 inch Allen wrench into the smaller hole in the left ear. Turn it about 1/4 of a turn and check the tension. Keep tightening to achieve the desired tension. After adjusting the head, the body form can be easily placed on the tray to continue with training. The body form and articulating head's tray should be cleaned after each class with soap and warm water. This will help preserve them and minimize any major staining from the simulated blood. The system can be left as it is when not in use, if desired, and the tray can be used to store Centra LineMan supplies. Please note that the Centra LineMan replaceable tissues are sunlight sensitive, and the fluid in the vessel has a tendency to evaporate. Therefore, Simulab recommends storing the tissues in Ziploc bags when not in use for extended periods of time. To store the system in the case, remove the tissue. Remember to remove the syringe and bulb over a paper towel. There will be a small release of fluid. Take the body form off the tray. Detach the articulating head from the tray. To repack in the case, start by placing the body form on one end of the case and the tray face down on the other. Place the accessories in the case. Wrap the head in bubble wrap and place it next to the tray, facing up on the handle side of the case. If you are repacking a tissue in a tray, be careful when tucking the side of it in next to the head. Troubleshooting. If you experience difficulty getting the desired ultrasound image, there may be air in the vein or artery. To check for air, stand the body up on its end and raise fluid lines all the way above the body form to make sure all trapped air has escaped. If any air bubbles rise, they should be replaced with fluid. Refer to Setup for detailed instructions. You may also need to turn up the gain and adjust the settings on the ultrasound machine. If you have difficulty compressing only the vein with the ultrasound probe, apply steady pressure to the pulse bulb. This will ensure that only the vein compresses. If the tissue is leaking fluid at previous insertion sites, the vein is overpressurized. To lower the pressure, pull back on the plunger until it stops leaking. We hope this overview of the Centra LineMan system gives you a better understanding of this unique system and all it has to offer educational programs. Thank you for your interest in Centra LineMan. Contact Simulab today for more information.